Hey, everybody. Ron Hoon here. Fox 10 Talk starts in 1 minute. It's a Monday with Mike. We got Mike Pache from LiveNOW joining us. And, of course, there are several new developments in the search for Nancy Guthrie. It's all coming up. Please stay with us. It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. Over the weekend, in case you missed it, there was a highly unusual, I guess you could say, traffic stop right in the heart of Tucson, very near a Culver's drive-in. And for whatever they were looking for and whomever they were looking at, we are told, well, you can see right there the proof. They had law enforcement was on scene with the tarp trying to cover up from the media's view what it was they were looking for in that vehicle. And at the same time, while no arrests were made, they did say they were investigating a, quote, person of interest. That's just one of several new developments this morning as we go on the air now with Fox 10 Talks. I'm Ron Hoon. Syleste going to join us in the next couple of minutes, and Mike Pache also joining from LiveNOW. Let's roll out our poll question. Top 3 choices from a brand new poll. Who would have the best chance to beat the Republicans in 2028? Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom, or AOC, or somebody else? You can grab that QR code, and we will watch to see how all of those numbers change around. So we're also kind of in standby mode this morning because it is possible that those DNA results from the glove may come back sometime today. So, of course, we're going to watch for that very closely. Stick with us for all of those developments. But right now, what we want to do is bring you live to Tucson, where our Irene Snyder's been reporting for us for the last several days. She's right there in the Nancy Guthrie neighborhood. Good morning, Irene.
Well, good morning, Ron. Well, yeah, we're live out here right in front of Nancy Guthrie's home. You can take a look behind me. I'll step out of the way first of all so you can see a truck that we saw earlier today, a red Tundra truck just pulled up into her driveway where the sheriff's officer is speaking with the person inside that truck right now. So that just happened in the last minute or so before we went live with you. But we did want to point out that the sheriff's officer has been here all morning, has been for the last couple of weeks that we've been out here. That's in addition to a growing just display of flowers and touching display of many people who are just leaving notes for Nancy Guthrie and her family here during this time. So that video, we were talking about the video that Savannah Guthrie posted on Instagram yesterday. Now, that was the 5th video that we saw from the family in the case so far. Right now, there are no suspects in custody and no arrests have been made, but we do have a possible new lead as the FBI confirms a glove has been found near Nancy's home, and that appears to match the one worn by the suspect seen in the surveillance video released just last week. Now, the security video we were looking at released by the FBI showing a masked man in gloves on Nancy's front porch. The man appears to tamper with the doorbell camera. The FBI confirming a black glove has been found off the road about 2 miles from Nancy's home. They say it looks like the glove the suspect is caught on camera wearing. The FBI has received initial DNA results and are waiting on official confirmation. The agency saying the process typically takes 24 hours from when the Bureau receives the DNA. And the Sheriff's Department also has confirmed someone's DNA was found on Nancy's property. They confirm it does not belong to Nancy or someone else in close contact with her. And also, contrary to a lot of reports we've been seeing online, the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff both say they do not believe this was a burglary gone wrong. And the reward for information in the case has gone from from it was $50,000 the other week, now up to $100,000. And we're taking a look at the scene right now, again, at that truck that pulled up here in front of Nancy Guthrie's home that just happened in the last few minutes. We've seen that truck over the course of this morning as well, out here with the sheriff's officer too. So we'll send it back to you for now, Ron.
Okay, and I do want to share, Irene, one of the, we had a former FBI agent who was speaking to Fox 10 this weekend regarding some of these latest developments. Now, stand by for just a minute. Here's what he said.
And you have to find the person. So are they in a location that they have reported of being, or do they have to go out and develop leads to find out where they are? But this is a move towards the right area of operation.
So, Irene, just one quick question for you regarding that truck that you say has been there. Has it been there? Have you seen it multiple times over the last several days? Or did it just appear now starting today?
Well, since I've been here, I've only seen it today, Ron. So I've seen it a few times this morning and just pull into the driveway now again in the last couple of minutes. And
not marked. Did you see any? Were you able to see who got in or out of that vehicle?
I didn't see anyone get out of the vehicle so far. There was one person who was driving it. I wasn't able to get a really close look as we were beginning our live shot here, but I did see the sheriff's officer come over and speak to that person in the truck.
Okay, that's our Irene Snyder reporting live for us this morning. Not quite sure what that vehicle was doing. Clearly it was authorized. And so, Irene, thanks very much for your reporting. Again, an excellent job. And there we are once again live in this neighborhood on a kind of a cloudy day there in the Catalina foothills in Tucson. So, Syleste, we welcome Mike Pache to the microphone today. Mondays with Mike are like one of my favorite things around.
They're usually the hottest mornings around. like people look forward to his commentary.
Right. Is she the first guy to call you hot this morning, Mike?
This is a great way to start the week.
I actually have a feeling his wife wakes up and looks at him and goes, "Honey, you're hot."
All right. Well, Mike joins us from LiveNOW. Mike, have you seen I don't know if you want to call it an explosion of interest, but just more people coming to LiveNOW from Fox over the course of the last 2 weeks to try to get the latest?
Oh, yeah, it sure is. You know, every time there's an update, we try to clip it for our YouTube page, and you just see a spike. People, there's such a thirst for these updates on, what could happen next. And it always seems lately, like given Friday night, for example, you think, okay, we're getting close to maybe this case being broken wide open, and then it's a dead end again.
Yeah.
And it's disheartening for so many people too. They want to see this conclusion, and we're not getting anything. But you know what the shame of it is too? I think the people, and of course the media, they want more news conferences.
Yes.
The lack of news conferences is...
And then that map. To me, this is one of the most fascinating parts, you guys. I had heard I think he was former law enforcement, who said there's a reason they are going up and down Campbell Avenue. He said it's possible they may already have if you want to call it, a cell phone of interest, that they have been able to track because... I mean, Campbell Avenue, that's a ways away from the house, but it did lead them to the glove. Something led them to the glove.
Right.
And now we think it could be as early as today that they are going to be able to do the DNA testing, not only do it, but to come out with the results. Now, it'll be up to the FBI and Sheriff Nanos whether or not they release that to the public, but it could really narrow down the list of possible suspects, possibly down to one.
Now, what I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. I mean, I believe it was former Sheriff Mark Lamb was talking about the idea of familial DNA potentially being able to be used in this case. We've seen it in a number of cases around the country, and we've seen it help in a lot of ways find at least a potential suspect that they can at least question. I think from the beginning, too, which you hear a lot of people all over social media and some of the concerns from the neighbors as well, and around that neighborhood. They say, we just had a feeling it wasn't being handled properly from the beginning. And so I think it got a little bit of a late start to a certain extent. But now you have multiple different agencies hopefully working together to try to find a resolution to the case and hopefully bring her home.
Yeah, I mean, that's what so many people want. We saw Savannah put out that video yesterday, another heartfelt one, and just you feel for her and the family. Everything's just turned upside down.
And I felt like this one was a little bit different from all the previous ones. Let's play that for everybody.
I wanted to come on, and it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope, and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. And we believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being. And it's never too late.
So powerful, and a direct connection from Savannah to whoever took her. And we don't know if it was a kidnapper or if it was a burglar, but somebody took her out of that house. And she wants to make this emotional connection now to that person with a direct one-to-one appeal.
Yeah, and it almost felt, too, that she was speaking where if she feels maybe that there was multiple people involved, because it seems like she's trying to maybe alienate one from them, saying, it's not too late for you to come forward. And I thought that was interesting, too, where, she's trying to play up to the maybe trying to dissuade them.
One of the people who are involved and saying, maybe you don't feel comfortable, but it's okay to come forward. Even if the other person may not want to, or other people, or whoever it may be.
Yeah,
that's an interesting
And the whole thing
insight.
about you're not alone. If you do the right thing, we can have a resolution here. Either you've got her or you know where she is. By the way, there was a really interesting new development that I heard about in Fox's reporting this morning, having to do, believe it or not, with the pacemaker. So they have apparently discovered, Fox Digital, that there is an effort underway, and who knows if this will work or not, but I think it's brilliant, to take the, I guess it's almost like a Bluetooth scanner that they can attach to helicopters and fly over not just, the very neighborhood, but other areas kind of up and down Campbell Avenue, maybe even closer out toward the mountains, that kind of a thing, and see if they can pick up the signal
so it is almost
via Bluetooth of her pacemaker.
That's interesting. Almost like a magnetic, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like the source or something.
Yeah, you got to get close enough, but again, they're trying everything they can. All of that's coming up. Plus, what did the sheriff have to say about a vehicle in the neighborhood? That's coming up as we continue our conversation. It's Ron and Syleste today, spending time with Mike Pache. Mystery Cam a little bit later. Right now, we'll just take a quick break and be right back with that. Quarter after, and this is Fox 10 Talks coming out of Phoenix, Arizona. And, you know, on YouTube, I'll just throw it out there. If you guys have a theory yourselves, I think a lot of people do have a theory about what they think actually happened. Be sure to share it with us because, you know, we want to keep that conversation going with all of you on YouTube. Plenty of people watching, Syleste, from all over the country this morning. And
we've got Charles David on, Mr. Palvaline. Good morning. Lil Philosophy and Brandy the Bookworm. And a lot of people, Ron, watching on television and on our Fox Local app.
Yes.
And if you go to YouTube, you can join the conversation there. Just look us up, Fox 10 Phoenix. Click the live option, and you'll find us there. And you can even ask Mike a great question. You know, Mike Pache is here with us this morning as well, continuing the conversation. And good to see you, my friend. Nice
Good to
have
see you
you
as
here.
always.
So I guess this CODIS system, the nationwide database, is so extensive. I want to make sure I get the correct numbers out here. Again, reporting via Fox that they have 19 million DNA profiles in that system. And so, you know, if the DNA comes back from the glove, and if the DNA on that glove out on Campbell Avenue matches the DNA that they said they found inside the home, that doesn't belong to anybody within the family or close to her, if those two match and they get into that database and they have a hit from somebody who maybe had some type of interaction with law enforcement in the past, that's how you get into that database. I mean, that could just be the case, the part of the case that cracks it.
Yeah, it would be remarkable to see how, and you've heard for a long time, it's going to be technology that actually breaks the case.
I really think so.
You know, and so many of these cases, because that's what we're using now so frequently.
And you know, the other thing, Mike, is the FBI believes in this, in working through this database, the DNA database. They said that they have solved, get this, 750,000 crimes since it was first established over the years now, simply through DNA technology.
Look at that. Yeah. Right? I mean, this could be the time where something happens. You know, we'll definitely see. But another thing I wanted to talk about with this case here is TMZ reporting today again that they received a fourth demand letter email.
Yes.
Demanding money for information. Where this person says that they have information about who took Nancy. And I thought it was interesting.
This is the guy that wants the one Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, that wants one Bitcoin. Yeah. But new today is that Harvey Levin and TMZ, they're putting a demand back to the persons that is writing these letters and saying, this is what they said. If the individual who is writing us these emails is reading this, if you are for real, send us the information regarding the whereabouts of Nancy and her kidnappers. We will immediately forward the information to the FBI. If it leads to finding Nancy and or the kidnappers, you then have a public record that you are the one responsible, thus ensuring that you will get the reward. So, TMZ is now trying to, broker
this guy in.
Yeah, they're trying to broker this deal now.
Yes.
That's pretty remarkable because when you look at, and I've talked to TMZ about this, Michael Babcock, who's been there a long time, and Brandon Quirk, you look back at years before, TMZ started with the paparazzi. And this is like, what, 20, 30 years ago?
Remember, they broke a story, and everybody's like, TMZ, what's that? And they said, it's the 30-mile zone.
Yes.
It's 30 miles within Hollywood. That's our beat. That's what we cover. And, they have branched out, obviously.
Absolutely.
Tucson is hundreds of miles away, but it's the story that everybody wants to get the info on, and they're all over. And by the way, we're going to be live with them next hour.
And not just that, but you think about it, that's who people are reaching out to. They received the ransom note along with the other media in Tucson, some of the stations there. And so it's just, and I mean, Harvey, he is an attorney by trade. He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see where we've come to with some of these cases now.
Yeah, totally.
And how they could potentially foster a break in the case if that's possible.
By the way, so some of the comments that we are seeing on YouTube, here's Thomas Brown who says, the longer this case goes on, the more I believe they know who all the players are. They have to hold a lot of this information close to the vest, right? I mean, they did say in that story that we were first talking about from over the weekend out there just across from the Culvers in Tucson, where they just descended on the scene and they were checking out the Range Rover. They ended up, kind of putting the tarp up. I just think they said that they had a person of interest, that kind of a thing. Now, one of the things that Sheriff Nanos said in an interview, again, reporting from Fox, that they had received as part of this brief interview, I guess, that he did with Daily Mail was, well, what about the vehicle? This is a question that's been asked in our YouTube chat box time after time. If you could show us the suspect, can you show us the vehicle? And the sheriff's quote was, my goodness, you can't put a mask on a vehicle. Apparently they don't have it yet, but they're working with the Google Nest people to try to dig deeper into the software to see if it even picked up, even if it was a blurry image of the vehicle driving by.
Well, it's and interesting that in some of those, now factually speaking, those computer systems, they can zoom in so far and even find license plate numbers, years and models of certain vehicles. And I know that the county and the FBI have both asked neighbors to, hey, share your video with us, but it can be tedious when you're looking back 3 weeks. So them working with Google is going to be a huge help.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Well, you guys are sharing some of your theories with us on YouTube, and we appreciate that. That's for sure. So I guess now one of the primary, let's just call it, by the way, no arrest was made, but they did feel like they had a person of interest in that one. But when it comes to just backtracking now and crossing all of the T's and dotting the I's, I find it fascinating that they will not reveal how the guy or any others who might have been with him got into the home. They still won't say whether it was a break-in or not, because if it wasn't a break-in, if there's no sign of breaking and entering, either she forgot to lock a door or it was somebody who knew how to get into the home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of those are some of the kind of the newest developments on this case. And once again, we are going to continue to stay right on it when it comes to a possible DNA release, maybe today. Most likely, they say it's only 24 hours before they'll get it. Whether or not they choose to share it with us in the media, I think instead of that, I would think, you guys, what we'll end up seeing is a massive flurry of police activity. They have so many crews on scene and ready to roll that rather than announcing, okay, we have a hit, we'll just see them suddenly show up at somebody's house.
Well, and I think Charles David, 5137, makes a good point. He said, lots of public pressure right now is building as folks continue to wait for an update.
Yeah,
and so I think they're feeling the heat, the authorities, and they want to make sure they get it right. So maybe they're waiting a little bit more.
They have got to get this right. With this spotlight, you can't arrest the wrong person.
No, not at all.
By the way, William Kribbe is on today. He says, still no pics from the Circle K. So remember there was that question about a vehicle at the nearby Circle K. So, we got to find out about that. But also, people were asking about what about all the traffic cams? This is a kind of a dark sky neighborhood. There don't appear to be...
Similar to like Sedona.
Yeah, right. And so what happened when whoever the guy was got out onto Campbell Avenue? Well, apparently they do have cameras out there, but apparently a lot of them don't record. They're just live cams.
Oh.
So I'm sure as time goes on, in this city and in other cities, they'll learn from it and they'll figure out ways to just improve their odds the next time there's a crime.
Well, it's a 50-50, right? Because people don't want these companies recording everything that's happening, but in this situation, it could help. And you're trying to tell me with all these cloud computing warehouses that they haven't started sourcing and record, I mean, that is a big business these days. It's you would think they would have some sort of, some of the video recorded somewhere. That's some of the video there, obviously, outside of Nancy's home, the front door.
Hey, before we let Mike go.
Or do we have to let him go?
Well, he's got other obligations. Just this new poll that came out going into the weekend, Newsweek was reporting on it. It was from Focal Data. But they said it was, let me see if I can pull this poll up, Mike. I found it interesting, and you being a guy who covers politics. I was a little surprised. Kamala Harris, right now, the favorite at 39%. They asked Democrats, who would you vote for today? Who would have the best chance of beating a Marco Rubio?
Yes.
Or who may have improved his odds apparently this weekend with the speech.
With his Munich. Yeah, that seemed like the poly market is gearing more towards Rubio.
Is that
now.
Right? Have you seen those numbers move?
It got a little bit closer.
Okay.
It was JD, but I think he tightened within like 5 percentage points.
Was that right? Wow, Mike. Okay. So they said in this Focal Data poll, 39% for Kamala Harris, 21% for Gavin Newsom, and the only other person that was in double digits was AOC, who, of course, is a favorite on the kind of the left wing of the Democratic Party.
Right.
So, she seems to be the one that excites voters the most.
Right.
She and Bernie Sanders with all those crowds.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
Yeah, but when you were setting this poll, Ron, I thought for sure that it was going to be flip-flopped with, Gavin 39%,
right?
Kamala 21%.
Right.
Wow, I think that's really interesting.
It makes you wonder, though, if people look at who is the most electable.
Yes.
And, the president, when he was campaigning, he really said he was going to fix the economy. And a lot of folks feel he has not done that yet. And so maybe you give Kamala another chance at it. And is Gavin Newsom hurt by the fact at all, just raising the question, that he was the governor of California?
Yeah.
Do people want to put a California Democrat into running the country? I wonder if that's part of the calculation.
Well, and I think because California is so farther to the left than a lot of other states, maybe a lot of people in America are thinking we want more of somebody who's at least center left, center right, or right down the center.
Yeah.
You have to be able to appeal to moderates.
That's true. That's true. When you think about sanctuary state, the way that the Palisades fire was handled, I mean, there's a lot of maybe daggers against him.
There's a record to go after there, Mike, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, this has been great having you here.
Always great to be here.
Our
to see you, Mike.
poll question this morning looks like this. So you saw what the Democratic poll said. Who do you think, whether you're Democrat or Republican or independent, could actually beat the Republican? There's the QR code. Give us your thoughts, and we'll check in with Dave as well. It's all coming up after the break. And by the way, it's Mystery Cam time.
Woohoo!
Here we go. All right, Celeste, we are seeing some guesses when it comes to our mystery cam this morning. You guys are good because basically what we have here is it looks like maybe a couple 3 type storefronts, like a government building, and then a church steeple in the background. That could be one of about 5,000 cities in the U.S.
Yeah, no kidding. If we notice where the sun is,
yes,
let's see, it's pretty sunny.
Okay.
So
long shadows, though, so more northerly.
Yeah,
than
northerly
than the southern part of the U.S.
We've got an Iowa from Here's Johnny.
Okay.
Ohio from Louis Gonzalez.
Okay.
And also in Ohio from Darren Lloyd. What is that store at the bottom? Can you read that, Ron?
Let's see. Ohio Sporting Goods.
No.
I'm kidding, Celeste. I'm kidding. Let's see here. AZ Raider thinks it could be Mississippi.
Yes.
And I love how Linda's like, it's Georgia, but it's probably Pennsylvania.
Okay, what's your guess, Ronald?
Well, I have to go with the fact that I think it's more of a northerly. So I like a Pennsylvania from Linda.
Uh-huh.
I like an Ohio. I'm trying to think. I've been through a bunch of Ohio towns. I guess I'm going to go Ohio. How about you?
What's a neighbor to Ohio up there?
A neighbor
Yeah.
to Ohio?
Yeah.
You have Pennsylvania on one side. Okay, I just have this map in my brain. I can't get rid of it.
I know you do.
There's just a little bit that touches Michigan there around Toledo, Ohio.
Okay.
Or you can drop down into Indiana.
Okay, I'm gonna drop down to Indiana.
All right.
Okay.
Here we go, everybody.
Here is your mystery camera. Gallatin, Tennessee.
Oh, for goodness.
So we had to drop down a little bit farther.
Yeah, we did. Let's go see. Do we see anything about Tennessee? That's a kind of a cool looking town. I like it.
It really is. It's like a main street. And by the way, Joshua Tovar 9996 has Celeste lost weight. She looks a little different. Actually,
Joshua, what are you doing, buddy? You're breaking the code. I thought all guys knew you couldn't ask about weight situations.
the bro code is broken. I actually have been working out. And Joshua, I appreciate you asking and noticing.
Okay.
Yeah. Every day,
Right.
Ron.
Good.
I'm on it.
We had a guy who was a guest or he was just what we call in the biz a soundbite
Yes.
from a guy a few weeks ago. And what was he? Maybe he was like a swimmer or something, but he had a well-built upper body.
Oh,
and
you
he
saw a
had
photo.
He was long.
Oh, got it.
And
Oh,
he
yeah.
had these
Got it.
traps up here, the
Huge
trapezius.
traps.
Yeah. And
In the
I
lats.
literally,
In the lats.
I have been ever since, and I've been working out my traps. Celeste, Dave, what is so funny about that?
Man, good for you. That's awesome.
I know. One of these sweet days, you're going to show up in a tank top and you're going to be like, can't fit in my shirts anymore.
Okay, so who was it that asked you the question about the weight?
Joshua Tovar.
All right,
I have
Joshua,
to say,
if you want to ask me about the traps, give me another month or so.
You're very brave, Joshua. Oh, yeah, viewer
for you guys.
voicemail.
What's that, Dave? What?
I was just saying, if you want to call into our viewer voicemail, do so anytime with questions for Celeste or Ron
Yeah, if you want to
or
ask
any
us
of us.
how much we weigh.
By the way,
Not.
Good. We can have a weight guessing contest. That would be hilarious. All right, 602-262-0428. And wait till you hear today's viewer voicemail coming up in a few minutes. Now, Celeste, we showed everybody going into the break how our poll question on the QR code looked. And by the way, AOC has now moved into second place at 20%. Or somebody else. There, you've got your Buttigieg's and your Josh Shapiro's, even Mark Kelly.
Yes.
We're going to be talking with a guy who's really been digging into it in a few minutes. But what are you seeing on YouTube?
YouTube is interesting. Here are some of the numbers coming in. We've got more than 1,000 votes in just the last hour. So Gavin Newsom winning at 51% right now in terms of who'd have the best chance to win in terms of the 3 choices for Democrats for 2028. AOC coming in second with 40% of the vote, and Kamala Harris coming in third at 9%. But that Newsweek poll, or focal point poll in the Newsweek article, said Kamala Harris was up there.
Yeah, really interesting. So let's go to the man who reads all your comments. And Dave, we've got a bunch of them.
We do have a ton of comments, and remember, you can comment on fox10phoenix.com/poll as well as on YouTube. A few people with some different ideas. Jared Hall 1391 says John Fetterman would have a better chance. Ken Thornberger 109 says Mark Kelly. RS_dad says Andy Bashir. Peter Johnson 1091 says definitely not Harris or AOC. Harris has already lost once. Unfortunately, the Democrats have to choose a white man to win. And finally, Proper 50 says AOC is my choice. Kamala, I think, still has lost a lot of favor. Newsom, I will always say, feels like a puppet. Really interesting comments. Keep them up, guys. We love hearing from you.
I don't want to interrupt the flow of this streaming show. But I would like to compliment William Cribby, who says, look at Ron's guns. We always have time on a streaming show.
Yeah, Ron, you're taking us to a gun show this morning. I know it wasn't on the rundown or wasn't expected, but we got to take a quick moment.
Yeah,
take a deep breath, everyone.
You know
Ron?
what we should do at this point is bring Matt on before we get completely out of control.
Is Matt going to show us his guns, too?
Yeah, Matt, show us your guns. If you want to continue. Oh, there you go.
He's got pretty big guns, too,
This is
Ron.
a requirement on our streaming show is you got to show us your guns. So we'll see what happens when we get like a really skinny dude on. But anyway, so Matt, tell us about Southpaw politics, and then let's dig into this race.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. I know it's a little early to be talking 2028, but it's kind of like predicting next year's Super Bowl winner. We don't really know, but we have some favorites. I've taken my analysis of all these primaries to TikTok, and people love it. People can't wait for the next presidential race, and I can't wait either. So thanks for having me on. I love talking ball.
Okay.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. What did you find in some of the comments, maybe, and in some of the your posts there on TikTok and creating some of the content about Kamala Harris?
Yeah, two things about that is there is some sympathy for Kamala Harris, I think, because she was put into a tough position by President Joe Biden, dropping out so late. She makes the argument she only had 107 days to do this general election campaign. And that is compelling for people. People say, oh, maybe she needs a full term. I don't think that, because her polling dwindled as time went on, as people heard from her more. I think there's a lot of evidence to suggest she's not a fantastic electoral performer. She ran for president in 2020 and did not even make it to the calendar year 2020. And then she was, gifted the nomination in 2024, lost the popular vote, lost every swing state. So I think the urge to move on from rock bottom 2024 will be stronger than the sympathy a lot of Democrats have for Kamala Harris.
I wonder if, I don't know if some coaching would do her good, but the whole people, all through the course of the election were like, enough with the word salad stuff. We don't really know what you mean or what you stand for. Maybe if she were to fix that, it might improve her odds.
Yeah, give us some meat.
For sure. It's just that, she's 60 years old. She's been vice president for 4 years. She's been in politics for decades. You're kind of supposed to know what you believe by now.
Good point.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you've been serving that many years.
What about Gavin Newsom?
Gavin Newsom, Prop 50 was a gift to him. It fell right into his lap. He was the right man at the right time. After 2024, liberals and Democrats felt embarrassed, defeated, hopeless, powerless. And Republicans had been moving around like they had just won the biggest landslide ever, like they had this unstoppable coalition for decades, unbreakable coalition. And I think they overplayed their hand with the redistricting agenda. And so this just fell right into Gavin Newsom's lap, and he decided to take this on in California and redistrict California, and he won 5 seats. And that is going to be a very compelling argument in a Democratic primary. He's going to be on that stage with the other candidates and say, I helped deliver a House majority for the Democrats. what did you do, Pete Buttigieg, except go on podcasts? What did you do, Kamala Harris, except sell books?
It's like you're writing the lines for him here.
Right. And, I think it's interesting. We had a guest here on the last 30 minutes, and he did mention this. Think about the fires in the Palisades and some of the other very difficult things and challenges that California families have had to deal with. How do you think how the state responded in those situations will negatively affect how, his campaign?
For sure. I think his record as California governor is fair game. And are these candidates, these other candidates on the stage, going to effectively attack him for that? And will that bring him down? Is he going to piss off more people as he gets into the specifics of his agenda? He's kind of just moving around real leader-like, real anti-Trump establishment figure-like, but will that last? It's very hard to lead, wire to wire. Hello, 2008, Hillary Clinton. So it's a very hard thing to do. We'll see if he can do it.
Now let's chat about AOC.
Yeah, so AOC, a very natural heir to all of those Bernie votes. She was, his campaign co-chair, one of his advisors, and like a protege of his. Her question is, can she expand Bernie's coalition? Bernie got the lefties. Can AOC get the lefties and the liberals? You can't, 40% isn't good enough. You have to get to 51%. So I think she's, already a star, even though she's one of 435 representatives. She's huge on social media. A very powerful presence, one that commands the room. But
look at this. No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you brought up.
Can she expand the coalition? She just went to Munich. She's trying to, engage her foreign policy chops. I'm not sure. We'll see. But should she run for Senate instead, where she would be almost guaranteed to be able to primary or retire Chuck Schumer? So it's really her choice. President or Senate.
As soon as you mentioned Pete Buttigieg, look at that. He popped right up on the screen. We have Mark Kelly, the Arizona senator. What's your take on, there's a great interest out here. And by the way, we got 30 seconds left. Just give us a real quick take on Mark Kelly's chances.
Sure. I mean, he's exploding right now with all of this anti-Trump energy, a lot of fundraising. He's clearly a very smart guy. It's up to the Democrats. Do they want to give up that key swing state Senate seat in Arizona? He could be in the VP sweepstakes, but do they want to give up that Senate seat? So the same thing with Ruben Gallego, John Ossoff, Raphael Warnock. They have extremely valuable Senate seats in Georgia and Arizona. It would be a gambit to give those up.
All right, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it, my friend. It was good chatter, and we look forward to having you on again.
Thank you so much, guys. Good talking to you.
Nice guns, too, but.
Back in a minute. And we are back, and you are looking at Tel Aviv, Israel.
Wow.
Wow is
Look at-
right.
My goodness. So Jesus walked these streets.
Nazareth is nearby.
Yeah, somewhere nearby.
I don't.
What would he
you don't
say,
hear a lot
Ron?
of talk about Tel Aviv in the Bible, but
No, but like
all through the Holy Lands.
the Holy Lands.
And that's where the airport is. I know so many people that have gone to the Holy Lands, and they say it's like life-changing to walk where Jesus walked.
There's an actual tour you can take.
Oh, yes, many, right? But Tel Aviv looks like the kind of city you'd also want to spend some time in. You think about the ancient streets of Bethlehem.
Yes.
Which is just, like less than an hour's drive away, and yet a megalopolis, filled with bright lights and modern buildings. That is a super cool shot lined up for us from one Dean Fazzini.
They've got a lot of tech companies there in Israel and Tel Aviv, by the way.
Yes,
big presence with a lot of tech companies. Real quick, we wanted to make sure we gave some of you a big shout out here on YouTube. This was interesting from Darren Lloyd this morning. He said, let's get a qualified candidate, real debates again, stop the showboating and smear campaigns. I am with you on that one. It would be interesting for candidates to get up and actually talk about policy issues.
Right.
Instead of just kind of attacking one another.
Right. Says the host of the program who has her master's in public policy.
That's right.
Let's get real around
Let's
here.
get real.
Huh? The show where we've been talking about our guns all day.
That's actually
our
real.
Traps. Anyway, okay, so Syleste, I know you love this event, and I love it too. And I met so many. I feel like when I go do the VNSA, which is, I believe, this past weekend is my 40th time of going to the VNSA.
Congratulations.
I
That's
have
amazing.
emceed it for them for many, many years. People line up. They fly in from all over the country.
Yeah.
Some people even from other countries. And this is just a little glimpse of what it was like this weekend at the VNSA book sale at the State Fairgrounds. They raised over $500,000 for charity. 15,000 people showed up because they love books. And
and they love helping out.
yeah, so here we go. What time did you guys get in line? 8:20. Yeah. And it's 10 o'clock. That's not too bad. Good morning. Happy shopping. So we still have lines out here, big lines. But the lines move pretty quickly. At the greatest used book sale in the USA. Howdy, Jim. Hey. How you doing?
Doing good.
Good. All right, so you're the newest star on Fox 10 Talks.
Oh,
What do you think about that?
Fantastic.
Yeah. What kind of books you shopping for today?
Well, so my wife's getting cookbooks from Ree Drummond, the Pioneer Woman, and a few Danielle Still because she doesn't have enough after like 50 of them.
Well, I'm here with Martin and Rosa. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
How long have you been watching either the Hooner or Syleste on TV?
Entire life.
The entire life. Since he was a little baby, Syleste.
Yes.
How about that? And you're down here today. What have you been shopping? Look at these.
A lot of Mayan books. History.
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the history of the Mayan people.
Yes, sir.
That's great. How about you? Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whatever. And by the way, here's a look at, so if you loved James Patterson or some of the other great authors like a Danielle Silva. I didn't want to interrupt that lady right there. She seemed very serious about what she was shopping for.
People go there and they have a list of things that they would like, and they will spend all day there.
Yeah, I get stuck in biography every year because every biography book is $3, and a lot of them look like they've never been touched before.
Yes.
They're used, they were donated, but these are books that a couple of 3 years ago were $30, $35 at the bookstore. You can get them for $3. Half price on Sunday, $1.50.
$1.50 for a book, Ron.
And I just got a text update. They raised almost $600,000 for charity.
Wow.
And one of the biggest charities, by the way, is Literacy Phoenix. They are a great organization, Literacy Phoenix, that helps people improve their English language, writing, reading, and speaking skills.
Can we just say a big thank you to everyone who was there and the people you spoke with? Thank you for watching and hanging with us and spending time with us. I mean, that gentle giant has been watching since he was a baby.
Yes. Oh, man. Yeah.
I love it.
He was a big fan,
Thank
and he got
you.
all those Mayan history books.
Yeah.
So if you love history, they've got that
The cooking
category.
books,
the children's books by
wow.
the tens of thousands. Just mark it for next year.
Yes.
Next year will be the 70th annual BNSA
wow.
book sale. And so
it'd be cool to do a historical look back. I wonder if any of there's some volunteers there who have been there. I wonder who the oldest volunteer is.
Yes.
You know,
actually, you know who it might be?
Who?
Is Ann Cox. And Ann was not able to attend this year. She, by the way, her husband Ray passed. Ray was a famous broadcaster here in the Valley, passed a few years ago.
Yeah.
But Ann is a little under the weather. So Ann, we hope you're watching today, and we are wishing our beloved Ann Cox.
We should interview her, Ron.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, let's call her. We'll interview her. Just because the 70 years of helping Arizona charities, it's incredible.
Oh, I think so too.
Well done.
Hey, so also from this weekend, can I finally unveil to you the picture of the flag football team that I've been coaching for the last, month and a half, something like that. Ready? This is, ladies and gentlemen, the Mighty Titans 7-year-olds and 8-year-olds and the flag football team.
Oh my gosh, they're showing their guns.
So there we go. That's my son Jordan is helping me coach. So is my grandson Mason. To the left on the picture, that's Riley. He's small, but he's fast. So then we have Michael, and let's see who else we have in this picture here. We have Braxton, we have Tristan, we have Sam, we have Cameron, we have Waylon, and down front is Jack. And the only one who wasn't there is Thomas. So we hope he's back for the next game. But Syleste, this team, it's amazing to start with a bunch of boys who are just kind of very early on in life learning the game and watching them get better every week.
That's so amazing. It's really cool to see how they progress, isn't it?
Yes, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just like you guys, your son Kai, I hope he's going to go to the UW and be our next great quarterback, but he's got a great career in front of him.
It's really cool to see.
You've seen that happen the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, you plant the seed and then you water it, maybe other coaches water it, and then eventually you see the growth.
Okay, but you Titans and your moms and dad who are watching right now, remember what Syleste just said. We're just planting that seed right now.
Yes.
Cannot wait to see what you boys do in the next few years. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun doing.
Yes, way to go, Mighty Titans.
For sure, the Mighty Titans. So Syleste, going into the weekend, we asked everybody if you've got any stories for Valentine's Day.
Good or bad.
Go on to the viewer voicemail. Now let me just pop this number up right here. Ready?
Here are our digits.
The digits, yeah.
602-262-0428. We love to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
The question we posed, Ron, was give us your best or worst or funniest or remarkable most moment Valentine's Day memory.
So ready? Here we go. This is from none other than super loyal viewer, Brandy the Bookworm.
Hi, Ron. Hi, Syleste. Hi, Dave, Isabella, everyone else at FTT. This is Brandy the Bookworm. You guys were just asked for your funniest Valentine's Day stories. And I don't know that it's super funny, but my boyfriend and I have now been together for 16 years. And our first Valentine's Day together, he had been really busy with work, and we were out, and I asked him, do you know, it happened to be on a Wednesday that year, and I said, hey, do you know what Wednesday is? And he looked at me and he smiled this really cocky little smile, and he goes, yeah. And I said, yeah, what's Wednesday? And he goes, it's Arizona's birthday. And I was just so dumbfounded, and he cracked up laughing, and to this day, it's an ongoing joke with us. So not sure that it's super funny for everybody, but for me and my boyfriend Daniel, it's just something that is a funny story that we still turn to every Valentine's Day. So I hope you guys had a wonderful Valentine's Day, and to everyone on FTT, hi, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll see you in the chat. Take care.
Oh,
Isn't
my good. I
she
think that's
so great?
funny.
Thank you, Brandy.
Yeah.
Now, Celeste, we need to decide what our next viewer voicemail topic should be. Got any ideas for tomorrow? If you guys, let's pop up the digits, as Celeste likes to say. One more time.
602-262-0428. Maybe coming off the VNSA, Ron.
Yes.
It's what's your favorite
book?
Yeah, the favorite book.
Celeste,
and like
it's perfect. I'm so excited.
And like a quick synopsis, right?
I'm looking for a good new book.
Yeah.
This is brilliant on your part.
Thank you,
Celeste.
Ronald. Thank you.
Favorite book you've ever read?
Quick synopsis.
Yeah. Maybe one book that after 4 pages, you're like, I'm never reading this trash again. Whatever you got.
But if it's like a Danielle Steele, you know, you got to hold yourself back once Fabio makes it in. You got to simmer down.
All right. So before we say our goodbyes, I just thought this was so amazing. We have a new all-time world record, Celeste. A 6-year-old Girl Scout in Pennsylvania just set the new world record for boxes of Girl Scout cookies she sold.
Good for her.
75,000 boxes.
That is crazy.
We should try to get her on the show because in her first day she sold 20,000. And there she is with all of her friends. It's so great. So anyhow, congrats. And we love to hear that these Girl Scout cookies are still basically as popular as ever.
On average, what's 75,000 divided by 7 because that's 7 days in a week.
Okay.
On average, that's like almost 11,000 boxes a week. Isn't that crazy?
Oh, she's just doing great. Okay, so congrats to her. Also, Celeste, I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yes.
When the numbers came out of Hollywood, we got a 20-second clip for you right here. Wuthering Heights, that classic book. Apparently, people, I think maybe it's because of Bridgerton.
Yes.
Love the Victorian era.
Yes.
It's a romantic drama that blew away the box office estimates based on a novel from 1847.
Yes.
Yeah. 34.8, almost 35 million bucks.
Wow. Have you seen Bridgerton, Ron?
A couple of episodes. I can't seem to get into it.
Really?
I know it's super popular, especially with the ladies.
It's kind of spicy.
Is it spicy? Yeah, maybe I should go check it out. Okay, so Bridgerton is big. I think that's why that movie is doing as well as it is.
The period pieces, I think, are really hot a lot of times.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love period pieces.
I know.
It's kind of like Downton Abbey. But a little spicier.
A little spicier than Downton Abbey. All right. Okay, so we got to clear out of here because it's the Danielle and Anita show.
Yes.
In 2 minutes.
That's right. So we want to thank you all for joining us this morning from 10 to 11 a.m. That is another live look for you from Tel Aviv. We love hearing from you both online, on social media, and of course, Ron and our viewer voicemail.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best. All right. We'll see you guys later. Have a great Monday.
And Blondes Who Babble are taking over at 11.
Good morning.
Did you have a good weekend?
It was nice, yeah. Yeah, we didn't do much. Just hung out.
Okay.
Valentine's Day.
Wonderful. Your little Valentine?
Oh, yes.
She's a sweetheart.
Yes, and she was had high expectations.
Okay.
I was like, well, don't we all?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to get right into it, you guys. We want to talk about the very latest. Good morning to everyone at home. Don't forget, you can watch us on YouTube and then go ahead and throw some questions in. We have an expert coming up in just a few seconds to talk a little bit about the latest with Nancy Guthrie. I wanted to mention the very latest with TMZ. TMZ has now reportedly received a fourth email from a man who says they know who the man in the surveillance video was. So this person is asking TMZ for $50,000 in Bitcoin, so 1 Bitcoin, in return for the information leading to the identity of this person.
Which is, I mean, the FBI is now offering $100,000. It was the $50,000 initially, but now they're offering the $100,000 reward. So it makes you think, why are they telling TMZ that? And 1 Bitcoin, it obviously, if you know anything about the market, it varies day to day on how much 1 Bitcoin's worth.
Today it's 68 grand.
Yeah.
But that's a good question, because now TMZ says the sender of the email claims he does not want to come forward with the information because of a past burglary conviction. And so I think that because they have a record potentially, they are afraid to go to the FBI, with this information. So it seems like,
I guess any way to get information is good, but at the same time it's a little
twists and turns. You've been out there covering this for 2 weeks now. You haven't been out there today, so we're going to get your perspective, but let's go ahead and bring in our guest. This is Michael. Hello, Michael. We want to be sure we say your name correctly. Alcazar, is that correct?
That's correct.
Hi, good morning to you. Tell us a little bit about your history, your work history. You have a very extensive resume.
I did 30 years in NYPD. I retired as a hostage negotiator. I was a detective. I did 5 years of undercover work. Most of my patrol time was in Brooklyn North. I also trained detectives. Currently, I'm an adjunct professor at John Jay College of Criminal Justice.
Okay, wow, that is extensive. So how closely have you been watching the Nancy Guthrie case unfold in the past 2.5 weeks now? We're entering our 3rd week of searching in Tucson, Arizona.
Pretty much been keeping up with it daily as information is revealed.
Okay, so tell us what you think then.
I think, well, I have a couple of working theories, and some of my colleagues agree and some people disagree. They're killing me on Twitter because if you saw the post yesterday about that, someone posted, a reporter posted this could have been a burglary gone bad, right? And that's been one of the working theories I proposed, that, only because you see the video, right? This guy looks like a bumbling goofball, not really prepared, and maybe he didn't anticipate perhaps Nancy fighting back. We heard that Nancy's pretty spunky, because that was one of the working theories, that it's a bird gone bad, but then people are challenging that because they said that, if it's a bird gone bad, why would they take Nancy? I don't know. I don't know the reason for that. And of course, the other theories are that it was targeted, that they know Savannah Guthrie, and that perhaps their whole plan was to get some kind of a ransom for Nancy. So I'm still kind of like up in the air. I'm not sure if it's targeted. I feel like it's still some kind of burglary, robbery gone bad, and then something happened and the bad guys had to take some kind of action.
And Michael, what are your thoughts on, I think a lot of people are getting frustrated because, obviously we have these two entities that are investigating this. We have the Pima County Sheriff's Department, we have the FBI, they're kind of working together. In your experience, how much is kept away from the media to keep the investigation safe, if you will? So a lot of us we just want the information, but sometimes it's not good to put it out there just yet.
Yeah, in this day and age, it's almost unfair for investigators, because as soon as they get the information, it's released out in the news or in social media. Sometimes agencies like TMZ get it before even they get it. So they're definitely under heavy scrutiny. That being said, a couple of weeks of investigation that yielded nothing can't really defend them for that until the FBI took over. And we see now that they have the video surveillance, that digital video that they recovered from the Nest camera. Now the investigation is moving along very quickly because now they have a suspect. Now they're trying to identify the clothing, right? The brand. They're locating where that's sold. Now they recovered a glove. So it's good. It's promising that they're finally getting the investigation going, but it took a little bit of time.
Okay, so we have a couple of different questions and comments coming into our live chat, Michael. We're going to share those with you. Do you have any feelings on the status of the case, how it's being handled? Potentially both FBI and, let's say, Pima County.
I think it's good. It's good that you have two agencies working together. It's a joint investigation. The FBI brings a lot to the investigation because they have access to so many tools that perhaps Pima County doesn't have. They also bring a lot of experience. I'm not saying Pima County doesn't have a lot of experience, but as we know, Pima County is a pretty nice, affluent community. And usually when you have very nice, affluent communities, there's really not that much volume of work, right? I'm not saying they're good detectives, but you become a better investigator by the volume of work, right? So when I was a detective in the squad, you're catching like 300, maybe 400 cases a year. That's a lot. And if you're investigating all that, that's a lot of experience. So, you're not born a very better investigator. It's just the work experience. So it's good. It's good that it's collaboration between the FBI and Pima County.
And Michael, with, a lot of the theories being a robbery gone wrong, a burglary, if there was nothing taken from the home that we know that has not been reported, what's the theory on that? Could they have potentially went in the house and harmed her and ran with her? Or what was that situation, do you think?
Yeah, again, the other theory is that it could have been targeted, right? They knew exactly who Nancy was, and this was an abduction. This was a kidnapping. Another theory is that, and it's been entertained in the news, that this could have been an inside job. Someone she knew, could have been somebody that worked for her, somebody in her staff, could be a family member. I know they're saying nobody is a suspect in the family, but I think they're just not releasing that information because everyone is a suspect. When you're dealing with a case like this, everybody that had access to Nancy, that was there all the time, people in our community are potential suspects, and they have to vet them out and investigate them and hopefully rule them out. And that's going to be done via the evidence that they've collected, which has been a disaster as of late. Well, we've seen them collecting 16 gloves here, there, everywhere, discarded by searchers, which is why they were heavily criticized because, the crime scene wasn't protected. They released the crime scene too early. They revisited the crime scene after they released it. But when that crime scene was released, more DNA, more fingerprints, more footprints were introduced. You see that media was all over that area in the surrounding adjacent area. You see cameras everywhere. So that's not preserving the crime scene. That's like Detective 101, what not to do.
That was actually a comment in the chat. What's your opinion? The crime scene having been opened and closed multiple times as potential evidence could have been damaged. So the sheriff, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nano, said that's routine. They went through the crime scene. They gave it back to the family. And then as the FBI entered, they wanted to see the crime scene. So they closed it off and then they went back in again. Do you typically, when you have a potential crime of this nature, a missing person's case of this nature, keep that scene closed until you find someone, until you find a suspect, until the person is released? Or do you believe truly you've combed through everything, you've dusted all the surfaces for those fingerprints, and you release it?
No, I would keep that crime scene open. I would not release it immediately because we still have a missing person or potentially a homicide. They don't know. They treated it like a homicide, which is one good thing that they did. When you process a crime scene like it was a homicide, even though you don't suspect that, the idea behind that is that you're going to process it, gather all the evidence, hopefully, for everything is for prosecution. So I think they release it a little bit too early. We've seen that happen even in the Koberger case, where they destroyed the house even before the trial, which made no sense. Why would you destroy the house? Because that's something, like in the Koberger case, when you have a jury, they could have done a walkthrough through that house. And that's very important when people are making decision for like a criminal case. Same thing here. God forbid something bad has happened to Nancy. I think it's important that the house is maintained as pristine as possible, free from introduction of any other DNA, fingerprints, footprints, anybody else. And when they release it, right? So now they're going to have to, yes, of course they have to go back now, because they're going to have to take elimination DNA profiles, meaning whoever was in there, they're going to have to rule them out, right? Which they did initially. The cleaners, the family members, people that work for Nancy, they have to identify their DNA and rule them out as a suspect. We have to be able to identify a stranger DNA, which I think they did. They said they had like a male DNA, unknown male DNA, which is good. That's promising.
We were talking about this, and we're talking about theories, and so these are some questions that have been floating around that I thought were interesting. So we see this Ring or the Nest camera surveillance that was released by the FBI last week of a person of interest, a subject matter walking up to this doorbell camera, trying to disguise themselves, and so on and so forth. Danielle's been on the scene, and we'll have about a minute to answer, and then we have to take a 2-minute break right at 13, so I'll have you pause at that point. But were there cameras inside the home? Could they recover that footage? What about the images, the video of Nancy walking into the garage? Were they able to recover that footage? Is there more that can be recovered? Why do we only have this specific nugget? About 40 seconds to respond, please.
Yeah, I'm thinking they did recover more video. They're pushing out this video because it shows the suspect probably prominently the best, and that's why they released that immediately. I'm sure there's more video inside this. I'm sure there's video of Nancy inside. Maybe it's something sensitive. Maybe there was a struggle and they don't want to release that. So that's a possibility.
Okay. Stay with us real quick. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'd like to come back and wrap up with you, get a couple more opinions. And folks, we're going to take a 2-minute break. We will be right back. Okay, welcome back in, everyone. Wrapping up a very fascinating conversation with Michael Alcazar, retired NYPD detective, including a hostage negotiator, a detective with the Training Bureau. And so Danielle is saying, where do you think that you see this case going?
Well, if they've uploaded the DNA recovered from the glove, which they suspect was the one that the suspect was working on, hopefully they can identify the individual in CODIS or ENDIS. CODIS is the local and state DNA repository, and ENDIS is the national one, which is more robust. If this person was ever arrested, if he was ever convicted, we're hoping that his DNA is in any of these two systems and they can identify him.
I do have one more quick question before we let you go. We have interviewed previous FBI agents who have said in a situation like this, when you have someone of Nancy Guthrie's age, 84 years old, it is typically someone who is known to the victim or family who commits this type of crime. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's definitely one of the working theories, right? You don't rule it out until you can rule it out. So absolutely, I'm sure they already checked out the victimology, meaning they checked out Nancy's history, who she had disputes with. Savannah, who did she have disputes with? Anybody that had financial problems that could potentially be a family member. They look through all that months and months and years to find out if there's some kind of a motive that possibly could have led to Nancy's abduction.
All right. Great insight, Michael. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael. We appreciate it.
We'll talk to you soon.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it. So I know that you've been out there and we can talk about this for days and days and days. But we are going to talk about some things that are a little bit lighter, you guys.
Switching gears.
So we're going to switch gears. So this is something that's really fun. We are talking about the Arizona Middle Schoolers, a group that is launching a fully operational food truck so they can learn about things like budgets, teamwork, customer service, cooking, and business fundamentals.
It's never too early to start.
This is
That's
brilliant.
Right.
So fun.
Introduce yourselves.
Hi, so I'm Matt Shenker. I'm the head of Alpha School Scottsdale.
Awesome. And then,
I'm Kai Abramovitz, and I'm a 5th grader at Alpha Scottsdale.
Kai, are you going to be running this food truck?
I am.
You are brilliant.
what can you cook for us?
I'm going to be taking orders.
Oh. What's on the menu?
We have tacos, mushroom tacos, lemonades, cookies, waffles, all the fun stuff to serve.
I think you're going to do a great job up front.
And where is this food truck going to be? Like, are you guys going to be driving around, parking it at...
So it's going to be parked at our Test to Pass showcase. So at the end of every session, we have a showcase where all of the things we've been working on in our workshops that session, parents and folks outside in the community can come and check that out. It's going to be at Desert Foothills. And so our food truck is going to be there, as well as different booths with all the different things that students have been working on in their workshops.
Okay, so let's talk about this concept and how you got to this point. We have bake sales. They're fantastic. Parents usually do all the work and put everything out.
Sure.
But how and why did you come up with something like this?
When learning is connected to real money, real customers, real opportunities to get to keep the profits, suddenly communication, math, and the basics of business matter a whole lot more. So at Alpha School, we believe that kids really want and deserve opportunities to take on challenges that have real stakes, real opportunities to earn real status. And so that's what we spend most of our day doing. We have academics, that's just about 2 hours a day in the mornings, and then the afternoons get to be real world workshops. Alpha School Austin had this food truck last year with massive excitement from the students. And so our students heard about it and they were like, please, we want to do this workshop. And so we dove right in, we brought it to them.
And Kai being 5th grade, that is obviously very young. The knowledge that Kai's going to get, his classmates, I mean, this will last them into their adulthood, right? I mean...
Yeah. I mean, so many students graduate through high school and have no idea how taxes work, let alone investments or saving, or talk to somebody later in their 30s and they're like, what is a Roth IRA? Instead, at Alpha School, students get to build real confidence and competence around money and business. So instead of money and business being mysteries, they get to be real tools. They get to build real confidence, not just around how money and business work, but confidence for themselves. We give them a wider range of choices they can actually make in their future.
Kai, tell us a little bit about your school day then. I mean, you're still learning about history and math and science, but then you're also learning about, well, I guess the real life things, right, that you need to...
Which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. A lot of fun. Stay in fifth grade, buddy. Stay in fifth grade.
I'll pay you to change.
But take us through your day a little bit.
Yeah, so in the morning we have our core academics, which is math, language, all that stuff.
The fun stuff.
The fun stuff, yes. And that's about 2 hours of our day. Mm-hmm. And then we have our lunch, we have our recess break, and then the rest of the day we have real life skills that we spend our time working on to prepare for the test to pass, which is going to be on Wednesday for us.
Okay,
awesome.
So do you have a favorite life skill? What are some of these life skills?
Tell them about some of your workshops.
Yeah, so I am learning jiu-jitsu. I have my test to pass today.
Okay.
I'm learning the trumpet.
Oh, okay.
I'm preparing to get into regionals, nationals, and internationals of the geography bee.
Oh.
And then obviously the food truck. So those are the 4 things that I'm working on. And obviously we also do other things that are called our check charts, where we also build our life skills.
Do you have a favorite activity that you do?
I really enjoy playing the trumpet.
And Kai, about 7 weeks ago, was like, how in the world am I supposed to learn this trumpet? Because in their School of Rock workshop, from 5 years old up to 12 years old, students have to teach themselves an instrument using modern tools and resources. And after the first week, he came to me, he's like, I think I've got this thing.
Wait, you learned how to play the trumpet in a week?
So it's funny because it took me 4 hours to make the first sounds, to even make a sound out of it. And then what happened was I started just putting in the effort, and I had hot cross buns down by the first week. So
I feel very unqualified sitting here. Kai, you're hired.
But you know what, buddy? I think you just nailed it. You put in the effort, and that is right? And that's what life is all about. It's fantastic to ace that exam. We want our kids to learn and to be smart, but real life is also difficult and challenging in many other ways.
Yeah. So many modern schools make the mistake of thinking that time sitting still equals learning achieved, when in reality we can shift the model so that the adults can focus on unlocking motivation, helping to build grit, public speaking, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, teamwork skills, the sort of skills every parent wishes the school day actually had time for.
Awesome.
So fun.
Yeah. How do people help you guys
guys
out and volunteer or maybe support and come to the food truck?
Yeah, so you can go to alpha.school/Scottsdale. You can find out more about us. You can come to an info session to learn about our school. You could even reach out to us if you want to come and check out the Bone Alpha Teat food truck on Wednesday. Guests are welcome, so just reach out to us and let us know.
You guys are
Bone
amazing.
Alpha Teat.
I know.
That's right.
Good luck with the jiu-jitsu today.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
We will vote for you for president.
Oh my gosh,
in
what
2
a
years
smart
here.
kid. Oh gosh, that's so amazing. I know Mill is in a lot of activities as well, right?
She is, yeah.
So-
Too many to count, and she is very exhausting, and she's only 5. So
Maybe you have to sign her up for that school to run the food truck.
she might have to.
Because I bet that she would be do really well. I want to introduce you guys to our next and final guest, Aisha Beasley.
Yes.
Hello. We should have made you do a hot girl walk.
I know. Hey, girl.
Hi. Instagram influencer.
Yeah, Instagram, TikTok. I have a podcast now, doing all the things.
That is so fun. And then what exactly do you focus on in particular?
Yeah, so a lot of people know me for my series on Instagram and TikTok, which is Arizona Places. I have a tagline where I'm like, welcome to Arizona Places. And I focus on a lot of food, lifestyle, things to do around, the valley and beyond, like in Arizona. Yeah.
Pretty incredible. How'd you get into it?
I've been doing social media for a very long time. I actually started on Tumblr. This was like 15 years ago. Okay. Had a blog. And then it just kind of progressed from there. It's always been a hobby. And around the pandemic, it kind of took off for me. I was furloughed from my job and posted a few videos, me just like finding cute coffee shops. And then those kind of took off. Yeah.
Which is crazy. 'Cause I feel like that's a sweet spot 15 years ago because I feel like
agreed.
The girls and the guys that were getting into it then really hit it, and now everybody's kind of tagging along.
Yeah.
Do you see more locals looking at your stuff or more people traveling here, visitors?
It's a little bit of both. I would say a lot of locals follow me just because I'm constantly posting all the new restaurant openings, like all the things I'm doing around the valley. But then I'll get DMs from people to be like, hey, I'm coming out here for a bachelorette party. hey, what are your top clubs? Like, where should we go for brunch? You know, so I'll get DMs like that quite often.
See some of your stuff up
Yeah, this is not easy. People think, I'm going to be an influencer. I don't want to work. You're probably working around the clock.
It's
You're your own
24/7.
boss. Right.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to find the content. And I'm sure being as established as you are, people reach out.
Yeah.
But you are the genius behind it all.
Yeah, I edit. I film all my videos. It takes a lot. It's not easy. Definitely, obviously, having a 9-to-5. I had a 9-to-5 for years. You know, working and doing all the things.
I wish we had a 9-to-5. We have a 3:30 to 1:30. I wish.
Yeah, my 9-to-5 was 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. I did visual merchandising for years, so I was doing a lot of store setup. So I was a early girl too. Yeah.
And so what are your favorite spots?
You know, I checked out a few new spots recently. I recently went to 40 Love. I actually liked their lobster pasta. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
They're brand new. Just opened in Old Town, like I think about a month or two ago. Pinion, another Scottsdale restaurant. They're actually owned, same owners as Buck and Ryder.
Oh, okay.
Phenomenal. It's Mediterranean food. Really, really love that. In Phoenix, downtown Cleverman, that just opened. I think it was late December. Love the food there, and it's a vibe, you know. And then they have that kind of speakeasy attached to it, which is super fun, and the drinks are really good.
Any advice for people who are looking to explore, whether it's a new restaurant or a new coffee shop, or, you know, maybe head out on the road a little bit? How do you find a place that's really going to spark that interest?
You know, I'm always looking for unique and different experiences all the time. A lot of times I'll take recs from followers, or I'll just kind of just Google discover like what's hot, what's happening, what's new, what's opening up. And I kind of make my decision that way. And I think, you know, honestly, it's kind of finding things that you really enjoy and kind of finding activities that you can also go to that kind of relate to those interests. And, you know, I'm always on the hunt. I'm always constantly sharing events and getting people out. You know, people need to not be on their phones as much and like get out, be in real life, you know, find that community. So I'm always sharing all the fun stuff around.
What's next for you?
You know, I'm going to be focusing on the podcast and then just kind of growing my brand a little bit more outside of Arizona and, you know, still doing all the fun things locally. Yeah.
Aisha hits the road.
Yeah, Aisha hits the road.
Take us with you. Take us with you.
That name.
Yes.
Just kidding.
Thank you so much. How do people find you?
Thanks. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at Aisha Beasley. My podcast is at Thriving Loudly on the same platforms. And
Thank you.
We'll be following along.
Absolutely. We'll put all that up. Hopefully we'll be on today. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
okay,
you
guys, Des and Ron are on their way, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
See ya.
11:30, Fox 10 Talks. Ron and Des, and boy, what a sunrise this morning. Des, when I saw that, by the way, we sped it up a little bit. The planes, when they do come flying into Sky Harbor, actually don't move quite that fast.
Ooh, could you imagine?
Yeah.
But that is a nice, but you could see, just how slowly the clouds are moving in comparison to the
right?
flight comes in.
So we have our tower cam downtown, and when we shoot it off to the sunrise, just to the left on the horizon, you can see the superstitions. And man, here in the Valley of the Sun, 5 million people can't be wrong, Des.
No.
That's how many people live here. You add up Maricopa County with Pinal County, we're over 5 million. And it was just really, really a beautiful sunrise. And alert, we do believe there's a decent chance for rain, snow up north tonight, and some pretty intense winds, which is really beautiful out there right now, but I guess it's changing.
Oh my gosh, it feels so good outside.
Yes.
So if you haven't gone outside yet today,
do
so. Take a little walk, sit on your patio, porch, whatever.
Sure.
It's nice. We were out at the Renaissance Festival.
Oh, I know.
In Gold Canyon, and the weather couldn't be any better for it today.
I asked Jeff, our editor, to collect some highlights from your reporting today.
Oh, joy.
Yeah. So we'll have that a little bit later on the show this morning.
It was my first time out there.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is pretty cool. Honestly, I can appreciate good talent and the way that everyone gets so in character. And
right.
I mean, there's a lot of folks with talent. I mean, people swallowing swords.
Yes.
Singing.
I know.
Bagpipes.
Right.
They were
Comedians.
Comedians.
That kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are. Go ahead, Isabella. By the way, here's a cameo. Come on, at least give us a wave, Bella. No, you don't want to do a cameo today? All right, here's
Thank
the
you,
rest
Bella.
of our scripts.
Sometimes us ladies, Ron, we got to be, we need to be camera ready.
Okay. All right. But anyway, so we have another half hour to hang out with you here on Fox 10 Talks, Ron and Des. And this newly released video from Savannah Guthrie, Des, was just, it was the most, if you ask me, the most emotional that we have seen from Savannah. I actually saw a report this weekend that she's thinking about maybe taking a permanent leave of absence from the morning show that she does, the Today Show, as her world and her family's world has been completely turned upside down.
I mean, it's sad. Obviously it would be sad to the airways to not have her, but understandable. I couldn't even imagine what it's like going through this. I actually watched her video. I was sitting on the couch and the kids were playing and I got teary-eyed just thinking, someone you love so much, just gone. I can't imagine what that feels like. And
she tries to make this direct connection with the kidnapper, saying, you're not alone. We can help you through this. Here, if you missed it, what we did was put the whole thing together here. It runs a little more than a minute, but here is Savannah.
I wanted to come on, and it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope, and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. And we believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being. And it's never too late.
Okay, so, with each, there's tension every time there's a video released, but this time you just feel the kind of the helplessness that this family feels because law enforcement is saying they're still operating on the theory that she's alive, and Savannah said, we think she is.
I mean, you have to until you uncover evidence that says otherwise. But yeah, every day still counts. Every second counts.
Right. This reporting from Fox that they've come up with this idea, law enforcement, of taking a Bluetooth scanner and flying it on a helicopter low enough that it could pick up a possible signal from a pacemaker somewhere as they fly, not just over her neighborhood, but other parts of Tucson, I'm sure. Quite brilliant that somebody came up with that, isn't it?
Yeah. How would you decipher? Yeah. I guess, how do they decipher
that from other, yes, right. What about other pacemakers that are coming and going? I don't know.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, any technology that can help uncover some answers,
right?
It would be great.
Okay, so let's check in with Eric Wilson, TMZ.
Hello.
We get a chance to talk every Monday. Eric, good to see you.
Morning, Eric.
Good morning, guys.
I guess you guys are making headlines once again. You received yet another communication.
Yeah, so sorry, I'm just going through the notes here. But yeah, we got a fourth letter from someone claiming that they know the people who allegedly kidnapped Nancy Guthrie. They're still asking for $50,000, really just to protect themselves and their family. They're saying this guy is saying he has a criminal record, and that really he's just looking that if he gives his information up, that his family is protected should something happen to him, whether that's from the people who he is allegedly going to rat out, or from the police arresting him for other matters that he may have been involved in, or saying that he's involved in this case at all. But yeah, we sent that over to the FBI immediately, like the other ones, and it does seem to be the same guy. He's given the same Bitcoin address, but that's that update right now.
And you would think there would be worry with this person even sending the letters. I mean, because everybody's talking about them, and you guys have covered this extensively. So if there was that much fear, wouldn't the fear have already set in? And I saw Harvey's latest video that is just saying, prove it. Prove that you know who did this already, and stop with the letters.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we can really do at this point is, obviously we don't want to get involved in the investigation more than we already have been dragged into it. So right now it's just at this point, it's put up or shut up. Give us some information, and then we can figure out the reward after the fact. But that's kind of where we stand with that.
Mm-hmm.
So, Eric, is the thinking that this is a separate person from the first person that, we all remember how the family had seen that,
so
that first demand for millions?
That first one was this alleged ransom note that the police and the FBI are obviously looking into. This is what we think led to some of the videos that Savannah and her siblings put out early in the investigation. This one is separate. He's not saying he had anything to do with the situation. He's just saying that he witnessed aspects of it, maybe that he can, point us in the direction of who's involved.
And so you guys took the... I guess maybe took the upper hand and said, look, we're giving this information to how exactly did you respond to this to him?
We don't respond to him. We send it right to the FBI, and then any correspondence to him just comes through these videos that Harvey is doing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then today was probably the most explicit. It'll be on our show as well later, that we say to him, give us the information essentially, and then, we'll go from there.
What is it like kind of being wrapped up into all of this yourselves? I mean, what an odd thing to navigate.
Yeah, it's been scary to say the least. We were checking emails constantly, checking the tip line constantly, to make sure we don't miss anything that could be either from this original alleged kidnapper who made the initial demand for ransom, or this other guy who's been sending these letters. So really, I mean, but also mixed in with that tip line, as you can imagine, being pulled into a national story like this, we're getting online sleuths and people who think they know where she is, and people who think they, know the glove, know the backpack, know all this kind of stuff. So it's been a lot of sifting through these messages.
Yeah, all of you have to remain really, really vigilant now, and double and triple checking emails as they come in for sure.
So I guess,
and we still don't know why they pulled listen to it to begin with. We just still don't know why they chose TMZ. Sure. Obviously, we get the local stations, but why they would be involved. But maybe they're just a fan. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Today, Eric, the big headline is they may be closing in on some DNA from a glove that could very well be the glove we see on the doorbell cam here. It was found on Campbell Avenue, quite a ways away from Nancy's home. But they are saying that DNA check only takes 24 hours, and it's been in at the lab for more than 24 hours. I guess the part we don't know is that it's going to come back pretty soon, and that may be the key piece that can put this whole puzzle together. But we don't know if law enforcement is even going to share that with us versus, whatever steps they might decide to take next.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do believe that the plan, at least as far as the FBI is concerned, is to have that information within the next 24 hours. Whether they release that to us or not is still up for debate. But with this glove, I know there was a story last week that the New York Post broke where they found a glove on the side of the road. The Pima County Sheriff's Office is clear in that this is not the glove that is seen in this surveillance video, the glove that was found on the side of the road last week. This is another glove found about 2 miles from Nancy's house. The one in the New York Post reported was about 1.5 miles. So this is separate gloves. We don't have images of this glove, but they are saying it does seem to match the one in the surveillance.
Hey, before we let you go, some sad news from a Hollywood icon that we just learned about through you guys in the last hour. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Robert Duvall's passed away at the age of 95. Obviously an iconic Academy Award-winning actor, Apocalypse Now, Godfather, all those great classic films, Network. He was Boo Radley in To Kill a Mockingbird way back in the day. I believe that was his first role. We don't have a cause of death yet, but he was 95. His wife posted on their Facebook this morning that he passed away peacefully, surrounded by loved ones, but obviously a huge loss.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, you think about all those movies he starred in. Literally, I think his career goes back maybe to the 60s, if not the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah, when Kill Mockingbird was 65, maybe?
How about that? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, long time.
True Hollywood legend. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Eric, we always appreciate our time getting a chance to visit with you, get the latest headlines out of TMZ.
I'm going to go check for more ransom letters.
Yeah, unfortunately, you have to.
Around the clock, yeah. I can only imagine the pressure, that puts on the rest of the team as well. Eric, thank you. They got to be on high alert for anything that comes in.
They sure do. Hey, look at this. There's a snowy spot here in the USA. Give us your guess on the mystery cam. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Okay, Des, here we are. We welcome everybody back. Let's just see if we have any guesses. And so, yeah, I don't see any guesses yet, but this is certainly one. You know what's so interesting is I got a text from my daughter this weekend. She and her hubby, they live up in Salt Lake City, and they were going to go up toward Park City and do some cross-country skiing, and there's like almost no snow up there. It's mostly a lot of dirt. I'm sure
That's odd for them, right?
Yeah, I'm sure the ski hill, sounds, I'm sure they're doing okay. But yeah, it's been pretty dry. And yet the other half of the country, the eastern half, a lot of this. So the question is now, where is this?
Well, we have a few guesses starting to funnel in. Charles David, good morning to you, Charles. He's been pretty active in the chat this morning. Glad to see you're here. He's thinking it could be Colorado.
Okay.
B. Miguel, Canada?
Okay.
And then Louie, another one we always see in our chat. Good morning to you, Louie, on this Monday. Iowa. Linda, thinking it could be Michigan.
Nice. Okay.
And then we got another Canada guest from Outlaw.
Outlaw Dynamo, welcome aboard. Welcome to the friendliest chat. Outlaw Dynamo,
And
one
there's
of our
Little
more.
Philosophy. Here they come.
Here
Little
they
Philosophy,
come.
South Dakota.
Okay.
Is that Killisell? Alaska.
Yeah.
Darren, Wisconsin. All right.
What are you going to go with this?
Oh, you know what? I'm going to go with Charles this morning because he has been
Okay.
and super active in the chat this morning. I'm going to go with this guess, Colorado.
I kind of like a couple of you guys guessing Canada, so I'm going to go Canada. So there you go, Colorado or Canada. Let's find out now.
Canada.
Yes, my home and native land.
Fort McMurray.
It is
Alberta.
Canada. Oh, for goodness sakes. All right.
Nice job, you guys.
Yeah. Well, who knows? But it looks like one guy's got a nice little setup there with his barn and a nice little pond to go fishing on when the ice clears up.
Yeah,
you guys had a story in the 5 a.m. today, Des, about ice fishing in, I think it was Wisconsin, and how they had literally set up a bar on the ice because they said the ice on the lake was 2 feet thick, so we're going to set up a bar.
Yeah, so why not? I mean, that's great. If
Crazy,
you live in
right?
the cold, you might as well adapt, right, Jeff?
Yes.
This is Jalopy Jeff. We're going to get to him. Do we want to?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah? Okay.
Okay.
I wasn't sure where you're going, Ron.
Jalopy Jeff is a phenomenon online. You have over 1 million followers.
Yep.
Okay, go right up into that microphone like it's a radio show here.
All right.
What is Jalopy Jeff's phenomenon?
So it's educational and informational car content. And so it kind of started as what I personally would have wanted to see from car content. And that's what I created. And as it turns out, there's a lot of people that like to see, I guess, exactly what I thought I would want for myself personally.
Yes.
I was
Okay.
just trying to move that down for you. It's like stuck. Okay.
Oh, it's hooked onto the wire there.
No,
there we go.
Ah, great. Thank you.
Okay, now we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
I'm going to play some of the video here for people who have not yet seen what you do. Why don't you describe it as we watch?
Yeah, so it's kind of a breakdown. In this case, we're looking at quite the custom Bel Air, which was actually on display at the Peterson Museum in LA, which I highly recommend anybody check out. But I like to give breakdowns of like what you're looking at because, you know, in the car community, people have all sorts of different backgrounds, right? Not everybody is as technically astute as, you know, somebody that's maybe a veteran in the community. And so I help try to make it approachable in the sense of like, even if you're new to cars, you can still appreciate the content. And then even if you're a veteran, you can still pick up a thing or two, or at least get inspired by some of the stuff that I'm sharing in these videos. So it's everything from custom cars to even the newest stock cars that are currently in production, you know, new stuff like that.
Where'd this love of cars for you come in to play?
Probably from my dad, I would say. He has his own just classic American cars and British cars, and I grew up out in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of the desert. The town's called Ridgecrest, California.
Okay.
Very small town. Population was 20-something thousand last I checked.
Okay, so everybody in town knew your dad and his cars.
Yeah.
You.
Yeah. And so there wasn't a whole lot to do, and so, you know, grew up going to car shows took me out of town. You'd go to vintage racing. If you've been to the big cities like LA, you got to see a Ferrari. It was mind-blowing. And so it just kind of expanded, and I guess I, never shook the bug entirely and just kept pursuing it, and now it's turned into something I do full-time.
And you're here in the Valley now, based.
Yes, yeah. So I actually went to school up at NAU.
Okay.
And I loved it so much here, especially the laws for cars aren't as, California's not nearly as friendly for car stuff, so it could be a little bit harder to enjoy cars there, and it just was a perfect fit here. A friend of mine that grew up here took me to some car shows here while we were going to school, and I just fell in love with the car scene here, and so I've been here ever since.
Well, and you have to love Barrett-Jackson then.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We were just there basically all week for January. The stuff that comes through there is incredible, and it's essentially a, big circus as far as cars go, right?
So when you're at a place like Barrett-Jackson, and there are so many cars that come and go, either for auction or that are on display, how do you hone in on one and say, this is one my audience would love?
Yeah, actually, so they have, what they call the docket, right, which they usually try to get live in advance to try and encourage bidders and stuff to check out the cars. I'm usually scanning through that ahead of time, so I'm kind of getting an idea of what I want to feature before I even show up to the auction. But even then, sometimes stuff surprises you. They try to provide some information, but then sometimes you see cars at the show even that I feel like just kind of...
I'm so distracted. You have to talk about this one before the video lapses. Where was this at?
Yeah, this was at the Peterson Museum. That is the thing with these lowriders is the amount of effort and time that goes into them. You have just the engraving that you see in the metalwork in particular is just hours. Like we're talking thousands of hours just into the paint, into that metalwork. And so those cars really have a totally different presence that maybe isn't clear on paper, and to the actual effort that goes into those cars behind the scenes.
I'm sorry, I cut you off. I wanted to get it while we were, so we could see it as you were talking about it.
Yeah, no worries.
Pretty incredible.
So then, what would you say drives people to? You're on TikTok, you're on YouTube, you're on Instagram, you're on Facebook, you're everywhere.
Yep.
But based on the feedback, what is it that brings them to you in the first place?
Well, one, I would actually say it depends on platform to some extent. I post a little bit of everything, old cars, custom cars, new cars. And it's funny that I will sometimes see certain platforms respond better to certain videos. So I find that Facebook, for example, does a little bit better with older cars and stuff like that. Whereas TikTok, usually skewing a little bit younger demographic wise, isn't so fond of just maybe a stock 60s something car as they are to the new stuff or custom cars. So it actually kind of varies.
And so is it like, it's almost like a virtual car show is what I'm gathering here. People don't have to like hop in their car and drive somewhere. They can experience it all through you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I try to provide them the value of it being educational. Sometimes I get as specific as even highlighting just an engine or a specific fact and feature and not so much the entire car.
Yeah. My husband gets sucked into all of these videos. So guess what his dream car is? He wants, let me get a Dodge Demon.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so super rare, right? They run what, like 6 figures. I'm like,
yeah.
Wow. But he gets down the rabbit hole when he's looking at these cars.
Okay.
And so there's a lot of kind of content creators out that feature cars. But what is it that makes your content so special? Because you said, I wanted to do something I wasn't seeing other car content creators doing.
Yeah, and like there's all sorts of different types of content. Some of it seems somewhat repetitive because there's only so many ways you can kind of review a car to some extent. But what I wanted to specifically, I guess, highlight was some of the facts and features, diving into some of the power figures, especially just to try and help establish what these cars are, because it's hard to understand some of these cars unless you've driven them. And so I try to provide information to help guide people to that understanding of what the car is supposed to be without necessarily having to experience, because as you said, some cars are very rare and very expensive.
Wow. It's amazing. All right, well, thanks for coming to visit with us today, and we're all going to go check out Jalopy Jeff, whether it doesn't matter whether it's Facebook or YouTube.
I'm liking this video right here at the top, this Aston Martin.
There you go.
Octavia.
Yes.
Ooh, go take a look at that. That's nice.
All right, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, by the way, Des was amazing today out at the great big show that comes out around once a year. I'm talking about the Renaissance Festival. Des, it looked like you had an amazing time.
It was so much fun. Yeah, take a look.
Here's some highlights.
Oh, yeah, you guys, this is quite the experience. And this is what so many folks look forward to step back into the 16th century, you guys, and experience everything that the village here has to offer. This is Lord Chancellor. You're part of the Queen's Court, right?
I am her special emissary, yes.
So walk us through, folks that have never been to the Renaissance Festival and here in town, what is this experience like?
Well, you've never seen anything like it. It's a 50-acre village of permanent buildings. We have 16 stages of continuous entertainment throughout the stages. We have food kitchens and pubs.
One of those is right behind us. We've got the Pleasure Feast Dining Hall right here.
Yes, now this is a separate event, but it's a two-hour feast, sit-down, 5-course feast.
Okay, nice. And who are we seeing here in the village? We are hearing dancing, or hearing music, seeing dancing.
Well, yes. Well, these are some of our village characters. We have 2 of our princesses, daughters of the Queen. We have Zilch the Storyteller, who does a wonderful comedy show.
And who are we seeing here? We've got the Twinstrels.
Yes, the Twinstrels, minstrels and sort of thing. And we have Lady Prudence, who also does song.
Oh, amazing. You know what? I'm a dancer. I can get down to any beat and any type of music. I love it here, you guys. Everybody is just in the Renaissance Festival spirit. We've got our performers that you are going to get to see as you walk through the village here. There is just so much talent on display. We have incredible lady, who with us this morning?
I'm Supernova, the strong woman.
Supernova. How did you get so strong?
Well, I come from a long line of strong women. My mother was a strong woman, and my grandmother was a strong woman. Even my father was a strong woman.
How? You've got... What is happening right now? These men on either end. What is going on?
This is a grip strength stunt called the Human Link, where I have to attempt to hold these handles together while these 2 powerful, divine individuals pull full force in opposite directions.
I don't know. It looks like you've got this.
I'm trying, but I don't know. These 2 are so powerful that they run a game show.
Where can folks watch you perform, and what else is part of your amazing show here at the festival?
I'm on the Fairhaven Theater stage today. I'll be bending metal and doing circus acrobatics. I am on the same stage as rock star Jaxie Whipper.
Oh, amazing, you guys. Is she going to break the grip? That's the big question of the morning. Look at those strong men on either. Oh, one-handed. No big deal. And look at this. We've got the Palace Theater busy with shows. You see the show times on the board there. We have Lady Prudence is here with us still this morning. And of course, we have Lynx, you guys. So he has been standing here with a sword in his mouth. Are we going to go ahead and pull this out? Do you think I can do it? Look at that, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I will not be trying that.
That was my favorite time of the whole morning, Des.
I was so nervous to do that. I was still watching like, oh.
He didn't even appear to be injured.
So much talent out there at the Renaissance Festival.
Okay, well, let's say goodbye from Canada. Better to be in the Valley right now, I think.
I think so.